Oh, the fish was tasty. I agree. I agree. I had a bite too. Yes, the fish was fantastic. Oh, not to worry. Tomorrow will be much better. So maybe you go for fish tomorrow because the fish was fantastic. I mean, I was wondering what was used to season that fish. Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people have the same review. The lunch was fantastic. We always do our best to serve you the very best. I'm sure you agree, just as like we do with the speakers. So, not to worry. Tomorrow, maybe you ask for semo and vegetable with fish. That may be great. All right, thank you so much. All right, ushers, please, can we get everyone else back here? The organizers, please, can you help us? Just so we can have the two panel sessions. The truth is, the panelists already spent their time waiting for this session, and we must have it before we round off today. I sincerely want to appreciate everyone that has been here since morning. Thank you. Our delegates from outside the country, thank you. Chief Lara Oweyowise, we appreciate you for being with us all day. Thank you. We do not take you for granted at all because we understand how busy your schedule can be. Everyone else in this room, thank you so much for your time and patience. I'm wishing the ushers can help us get everyone back. The ministerial roundtable is about to kick off, so we can have the panel session. The panelists and the moderators are ready. Just 2 more to go, and in 30 minutes we can knock this off if we get serious now. All right, so once again, I want to thank everyone for staying with us. We do not take it for granted at all. So we're about to round off today's session, but not without taking the last two panel discussions that we have. The first panel discussion we would have before we round off is on mining and agriculture, balancing the shovel and the soil. Now, this panel seeks to address the critical intersections of mining, agriculture, and sustainable land use. I hear that all the panelists are ready, and the moderator is also ready for this discussion. It's going to be power-packed. There will be so much to learn, and it would be worth the while. So I expect you to stay with us. To our international delegates, we see you, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's now my pleasure to introduce the moderator for this panel session, and that is the Professor of Agricultural Production Economics from Modibo Adama University, Loyola. Please, a round of applause for Professor Maurice David Chinda as he comes forward. Let's celebrate him, please. They will be examining the competition between mining and agriculture for land and resources in Africa. They will help us to understand how mining operations contribute to soil degradation, water contamination, and ecosystem destruction. Please, the professor is walking to this podium. A round of applause. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, we shall be explaining the justification of juxtaposition of mining and agriculture, synergies, conflicts, and sustainable solutions. As we all know, mining and agriculture share the same resources but at different levels. The resources of land, labor, capital, and management at different levels. But the bone of contention is the utilization of the land as a resource. Agricultural production is undertaken on topsoil, while mining requires one to dig deep. And what does that entails? Land degradation. So we shall look at how does mining and agriculture synergizes in terms of complementarity, in terms of competition for the use of these resources. What are the conflicts that arise in the use of these resources? Conflicts from the host community, conflict arising from mining and agriculture on the environment. And then at the end of the session, we shall come up with sustainable solutions where mining and agriculture can be undertaken sustainably without disrupting the ecosystem. And to lead in this discussion, I will invite a panelist. One is Professor Ahmed Isa Haruna from Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University. A round of applause to him. Dr. Basi Achibong, formerly with IITA, but now he is the CEO and team leader of Agropedia Limited, a private agro-input firm. Dr. Basi Achibong, can you come to the stage? And the last is Divine Chibueze, a research assistant with ICResearch. Thank you. The other person is unavoidably absent. So I believe we have formed more than a panel to x-ray this all-important subject. May I start with you? The symbiosis between mining and agriculture is intricate and complementary. Can mining and agriculture be mutually reinforcing? What are the potential benefits of mining? Please. Hello. Hello. It's not. Hello. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. The symbiosis between mining and agriculture is intricate and complementary. Can mining and agriculture be mutually reinforcing? What are the potential benefits of mining to agricultural production, if yes?
Well, thank you, sir, and good evening, everyone. Mining and agriculture are not mutually exclusive. As a matter of fact, depending on how mining is being done, it can work in synergy with farming practices. For instance, when we look at, you've aptly described the different levels by which mining is being done. Now, all of them require the use of land, and but in the processes of doing mining, the levels for which mining operations are being done, if it is done sustainably, then there is the possibility of mining and each being of benefit to the other one. For instance, when mining is being done in a way that in a location where you do land use plan, in a place where those who are doing the mining of operations are conscious of the fact that mining disrupts the environment, and so processes need to be put in place to ensure that when mining is being done, it does not affect farming operations, it does not affect agriculture to a large extent. Once there's this connection, there's this understanding that those who use the land outside mining are farmers. And so certain parameters need to be put in place by those who are doing mining to ensure that farmers who also use that land are not disenfranchised, so to speak. So, in summary, the way mining is being done is what will create that synergy between mining and agriculture.
Thank you. Professor Haruna, can you look at the negative effects of mining on the environment?
Hello.
On agricultural production, by extension, on food security?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to look at the problem first. What is the problem of mining? What causes problem of mining in Nigeria? Is lack of proper exploration. There shouldn't be any conflict between agriculture and mining if we go by the strict rules of mining. Before mining, there should be an exploration. Exploration will make you know where you can find water, where you can find the mineral, mode of occurrence of the mineral, and how you can exploit it. In so doing, you cannot have issues with agriculture. Under normalcy, agriculture is supposed to benefit from mining via reclamation after mining. So the problem we're having now is we have mining, we have agriculture, they all need land and water. So if they need land and water, proper mining planning via exploration will now know which part will go for the agriculture, which part the mining starts. And immediately the mining finishes or closes, the area will be reclaimed. I want to assure you that most of the mining in Nigeria, if not all, don't have any reclamation plan. And how do we catch them? How does the government bring them in? When the mining starts, there should be a special account for reclamation. As the mining is going on, certain percentage of the money is being put into that special account. If in the event of completion of the mining, the miner escapes, the money is still in the account, the land can be reclaimed. And if the land is reclaimed, agriculture will now move in and other things. The two of them are all mining acts, right? Land Use Act. So they are governed by certain policies. There shouldn't be issues if we go by the law. But what we are having today in Nigeria is not mining but scavenging, as I call it. Because any mining that is undertaken without following the proper exploration rules is more of scavenging. They don't respect the position of the groundwater. They don't even expect the land. It's only taking excavator to start digging where mineral is reported. At the end, you leave all the areas perforated without consideration. And at the end of the day, the whole thing fall back on the government again. So the mining laws should be, revisited, and all the necessary things should be done. And most importantly, if I can give a solution, should I? Chairman?
Now, you are putting the cart before the horse.
Okay, so let me keep it for for the next time. So to me, if proper exploration is being done, to be frank, there shouldn't be problem with, between agriculture and mining, because mining will assist agriculture to reclaim through reclamation of land. For mining that takes place, if there are regulations, the mining can actually lead to release of leachate into groundwater, but that with a proper plan, the water can be conserved in a place or damped in a place and be treated before being released into the environment. So that should not be a problem, to mining. But if the regulation of exploration is not followed, there is bound to be a lot of problems, and that's why we landed today.
Thank you, Professor Haruna. In summary, mining brings about water pollution, as you have said, which is true. Mining degrades the environment by destroying both the surface soil and the subsurface soil. This affects agricultural production. And in most mining sites, you will notice that the host communities are always under threat. Take example of most of the conflict situations we see today in Africa. Coming back home to Nigeria, we are sitting on wealth, untapped. What is presented today before us is what has been identified. Research has it that we have enough deposit of different mineral resources around the Lake Chad Basin. But what do you see happening in the Lake Chad? Insurgency. Go to Zamfara, that is close to us here, we have mine deposits. Almost every state in Nigeria has one mine deposit or the other. Thank you. Divine, the next question is to you. How can local communities, I'm talking about host communities, benefit from both mining and agricultural sectors without sacrificing long-term sustainability?
Thank you. Thank you so much for that question. First of all, I'm grateful to be here. This really feels like a win, and truly this conversation is very important and very dear to my heart. So concerning the question, how can local communities be involved in the synergy between mining and agriculture without sacrificing sustainability? I will start with this story. In the area of Yaobi local government area, Kebbi State, Nigeria, currently, there is a case of illegal mining, very close to an agro-processing firm that belongs to GB Foods. Although it's not really discoverable right now, but there is a presence of illegal mining. And youths are leaving agriculture for that mining because the mining presents something that is profitable to them. And one major cause of this is that they don't know the value of agriculture, because agriculture is gold too. It's just that we grow it. It's gold. If you can present it in a way that the local communities can understand that there is value in agriculture. That is why I really wish that the Ministry of Agriculture is here to also be testified to this. Because if you want to involve the local communities in this synergy, we must first of all strengthen the agricultural sector, make it attractive for them. Because we cannot say, come out of mining, come into agriculture, or the mining communities will bring in the local communities to join in the mining before the activity starts. You cannot bring them in if they don't see the benefits of going there. So, for us to involve these local communities, we have to restore this land with them, not for them. Restore, there are two different things. Restore the land with them, not for them. Just like we do in Equisat, we have, under the KSADP project, we use a technique called bioreclamation, just like what Prof has said, where we dig up lands, we call them zai pits or zai holes, and we fill up manure and try to grow crops that will help the land to regain its life. But the success is not in the technique. The success is in the process. Because we form what we call Farmers Field School, where we bring in the local communities, about 25 to 30 of farmers, in order for them to join in the process of reclaiming this land. Because when they then know the value of their land, before mining companies come, they can be able to negotiate with mining companies based on knowledge, not fear, not just compensation. And that is why I really propose this principle we call regeneration research plots. Just like in agriculture, we have agricultural demo plots, where we, the Research Institute, we come in with our new innovations, and we try to plant them side by side with the local varieties of the rural areas, just for them to compare and contrast what suits their land. If we can bring this same method to mining areas, that before mining starts, we say, wait, pause, let us run a regenerative trial on that land, just with a small plot of land. Let's try to use bioreclamation methods to restore it. And when the communities see that, okay, this land can actually be restored before mining begins, they will know what to seek for the mining companies. They will say, okay, we know what this our land can produce. Now we need these tools, we need these crops. They not only come just for main compensation. So that's how we involve local communities for sustainable growth. Because when the ownership is there, there is peace, and peace sustains development. Thank you.
Yeah, as a follow-up to that question, Mr. Dr. Bassi, there is this complaint by host communities of being marginalized by way of not getting them involved in decisions about mining activities that affect them. Mining companies renege in their corporate social responsibilities to host communities. What do you say about this?
Well, that is one of the major issues with the way we do mining operation. And to the government, I've not heard, but I think it is important that we do a risk management framework. We design a risk management framework that guides the way mining companies, engage with the communities. In most cases, when mining companies enter a community, the first people that they meet are the emirs, are the chiefs, and they give the chief money. Land is being given. and the rest of the communities do not have access to the money, and then people start operation. Livelihoods are being affected, water is being polluted, there's a siltation in most cases. And so oftentimes, when you see communities react, they are reacting out of the fact that they were not carried along right from the processes. As a matter of fact, for any mining operations to happen, they need to be economic and social impact assessment. But because most of the mining operations we have in the States are artisanal mining operations, there are small operations that are scattered everywhere. So there's no EIA, there's no social impact assessment carried out before those mining operations start. And so you see miners, engage. Once they have a license, the next thing is to locate which community they're going to. They enter the community, meet the chiefs, meet a few people, and in most cases, maybe they are being taken there by some big political group. Once they start operations and the community sees that there is something in this thing, their livelihood has been taken away, they are bound to react. So one of the key things that can help, I mentioned earlier, is that if there is the entry process for mining operations into a community is key. We do understand that the Land Use Acts or the Land Use Decree gives the government, the authority.
Definitely.
Once the government has been given the authority and they give license to the mining operation, of course, they are going to meet people. It's not just about license. It's not just about you've been given a license. You'll be engaging with people. So in this, at that point, community entry is really key if corporations who want to go into mining needs to succeed. And very importantly, what would help is that the government or mining bodies, actually the government in particular, Minister of Solid Minerals and the Minister of Agri needs to have some kind of agro mining
Synergy.
Synergy. There needs to be a coordination office, because what I see happening here, like my sister has mentioned, I had expected to see the Ministry of Agriculture here. I expected to see the Ministry of Environment here. All these are bodies that connect with what we are talking about here. But the way it is that it does appear that our ministries are operating in silos, and that cannot help what we are talking about. There need to be that kind of multi-sectoral roadmap that looks at, in the next 5 years, what are we going to do concerning mining versus agri operations. So a risk management framework needs to be in place to help the mining operations in Nigeria grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, sir.
What other policy frameworks should be put in place to balance extractive industry interest with agricultural production?
So actually, my first advice is to come up with an integrated policy for mining and agriculture alongside agriculture. They shouldn't be seen as two different things, since their requirement is land and water. So if this policy is carried along with a very serious, sincere management, we will start solving the problems. And what do I mean by sincere management? I'm calling for sincerity of purpose. Let's look at the whole thing as a collective progress, not individual progress. If I have a mining license, I should look at it as helping the country, helping the community, and Africa at large. If I come with that mindset, and another person comes with that mindset, we'll understand each other. It's not a territorial war. If with this policy, if a policy is cemented between mining and agriculture, is certified by the government, I think that will be excellent. And then when it comes to dishing out the license also, is very, very important. Not everybody is qualified to have a mining license. Mining exploration license, for example. The government should look into it as to who should get the license. This is where the problems are coming from. And the strategy of giving the license should also be checked. Because exploration is seriously suffering. And that's why there is conflict between agriculture and mining. If that is sorted out, I think we'll have a synergy between the two, agriculture and mining, and not only Nigeria, but Africa will grow. Because we'll be growing food alongside harnessing our mineral resources in an environmentally friendly way, without disturbing the water, groundwater, without depriving anybody of water. And life will be good for Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, moderator. Because of time, I think we have to stop here. Or will you want us to take more questions?
Because of time, the ministerial roundtable needs to happen shortly. Okay, looks like we have one question, and that's coming from a director in the Ministry of Solid Minerals. I think we would have to take it. Please, can we get the mic to him?
A quick one. My name is Engineer O.S. Nkom, the Director General, Nigeria Mining Cadastral Office, an agency shouldered responsibility of issuance of licenses. Quite an interesting panel, but just to tweak it a little bit, I think next time we'll suggest that there is somebody from the ministry or somebody from the regulator to be there. But be that as it may, we talk about community. I think there's a need for us to look at what does the 2007 Minerals and Mining Act says about consent, about compensation, about community development agreements, about environmental impact assessments. What are the roles of MIREMCO, Mineral Resources and Environmental Management Committee? What is the composition of that? Looking at it, I know that yes, everybody has his own perspective about talking about regulators. But I need us to look at what is the role of the community development agreements. Before a license is given, you have to obtain consent from landowner, land occupier. Whatever I'm telling you is from the law. That is the first stage. Then the second stage is after getting the license, you need to be able to actually comply with some certain aspects. Remember, it's not the community, it's not the community that gives the consent. It is actually the landowner, land occupier, Section 100. So subsequently, once you get the license, then you now come in with your area where they are going to carry out activity. You'll be deprived from whatever it is, agriculture or your farmlands or whatever for that period. Then you now talk about compensation. Compensation during that time, depending on even the type of license that you are talking about. If it is a mining lease, there must be an agreement between the landowner and then the person applying for the mining lease. Otherwise, a license will not even be given to you. So once you are able to have these conditions like post-grant, pre-grant is consent. Unfortunately, communities now take consent. They want to they want to include everything. They want to tell you must sign CDAs, which is community development agreements, before the license is given. They want you to pay compensation before license is given. So they have misinterpreted the consent issue. So post-license is compensation, community development agreement, and then you talk about the EPRP or whatever, environmental impact assessments and whatever. These are already in the Act. So I think there's a need to really know what is in the Act to be able to now understand it from that community. If we have somebody on that place, I can tell you that Somebody says, oh, the landowner does not know how to speak English. He doesn't know how to read and write. But we have landowners who cannot speak and write taking the ministry to court for no reason. But that means he can speak English. He can speak English to someone else. So I think there's a need for awareness, proper awareness when it comes to panels like this, so that at the end of the day, the stakeholders, the public, will be well informed. And then that enlightenment is put actually in place. I can see someone looking at me wanting to take the microphone. But I think it is very, very key to actually understand that if you ask the regulators now, you'll find out that the biggest challenge of, even when it comes to illegal activity, illegal mining, somebody has a legit license. The communities will, in fact, they will pounce on that area and they say, this is our mineral. I heard from one of the people on the panel that said, mineral, their own mineral. They don't have any mineral. They don't have any mineral. Mineral belongs to the federal government. It is clearly in the Constitution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me stop at that before I become a panelist.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your contribution. I can see a hand raised up, but because of time, we cannot take it. Professor, I think your team has done a fantastic job. Please, a round of applause for them. And by the way, one of the veterans of Afnis is on this panel. Like I mentioned earlier, Dr. Basi Achibong has been with us since 2022. Please, a round of applause for them. And let's take a group photograph before we step down. All right, so we've gotten to the highest point of this occasion, and that, of course, is the last panel session, after which it will be time to go home and recalibrate for tomorrow. Tomorrow's session is going to be very interesting. It's the technical summit. I can see that we have so many speakers ready to deliver tomorrow. So I expect you to come in bright and early so we can start on time and, of course, finish on time. Just a quick announcement. The dinner scheduled for today has been shifted to tomorrow. And that's because of the ministerial roundtable, which needs to happen today. I'm sure you understand why all of that is happening. The ministerial roundtable was earlier scheduled for yesterday, but you understand the mood of the nation, that couldn't happen. So we're having ministerial roundtable today, and the dinner would happen tomorrow. Thank you so much for your understanding. The final session is on empowering Africa's green economy, harnessing local resources for sustainable growth. And it will be moderated by Wisdom Chap Jumbo. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes forward and introduces his panelists. Let's celebrate him with the, I understand that we are drained, but yes, thank you so much for staying with us.
All right, thank you so much. It will be quick. I'll just call my panel up. It's a very important topic, as you know. This session, we're going to explore, how Africa can strategically leverage the abundant resources that we have, renewables, minerals, and the human capital that we seem not to be harnessing well enough. So, discussing empowering Africa's green economy, we are looking at how can we harness our local resources for sustainable growth. So, it's been a privilege to moderate this. I would like to quickly invite my panel to join me so that we can get on with the conversation because of time. Mr. Chibueze, aka CEO of Sea Solar, is he here somewhere? Chibueze, where are you? Okay. All right, please round of applause for him as he's coming. Sea Solar is one of those indigenous, solar companies we have in the country doing amazing work. My next panelist is Professor Kafayat Adeyemi. She is Professor for Energy and Environment Engineering at University of Abuja. Please, a round of applause for her. She joins us on stage. Also joining us is Mr. Godfrey Obumodia, who is Program Manager, Energy and Circular Economy at the European Union. Please, a round of applause for them as they make their way to the panel. Okay, so we'll try to make this conversation as quick as possible as we're discussing this very important topic on green economy. So I want to start first. Let's give a broader context to this topic when we talk about green economy. And I would like to start with Professor Kafayat, who will help us give us maybe a good kickstart on let's make sense with when we say green economy. And how much progress do we think we've really made in that context in itself? When we say green economy, what are we talking about? What should we be looking at, and how much progress have we made? Maybe we'll start from there, Prof.
Thank you so much, moderator, for your question, and good evening, everyone. When we talk about green economy, we're looking at an economy that is geared towards avoiding environmental degradation, but improving economic growth and sustainability. So when we say green economy, we're trying to look at the balance between economic growth, sustainability, environmental protection, social justice. How do you balance all of this with the objective function that you want to achieve economic growth sustainably? And so it is multifaceted. You can see it in various dimensions. You can look at it from energy aspect. What are the clean energy sources? Because we're looking at sustainability. We're looking at protecting our environment, water pollution, air pollution, land pollution. How do you manage all of this? You begin to look at resource efficiency, circular economy. How do you build circular models? How do you reuse, repair, recycle, refurbish? So all of this integrates into what we call green economy. So it's quite broad. And for each sector, be it energy sector, be it manufacturing sector, transportation sector, there are opportunities where you can make the economy green. There are opportunities in a manner that you tap into it and make your economy sustainable in terms of all the processes. When you say the energy sector, begin to look at renewable, begin to look at green hydrogen, begin to look at solar, and a lot of things is going on in the energy space now. A combination, you have solar water, solar wind, solar hydrogen. You play with various scenarios, so a lot comes with it. So I think I stop there. Thank you.
All right. So I'll go to Mr. Godfrey now, because of your role, of course, around energy and circular economy. How much have we done with renewable adoption when we're looking at the green economy? From what Prof said, there's so much potential we're looking at in this area, but how much more work have we done around adoption? What are you seeing? I mean, from your work, you're always in the field, I know, traveling around the country. So just wanted to share that with you. Maybe you want to share some thoughts on that.
Thank you very much. Nigeria is blessed with enormous renewable energy resources, and I think we are still underutilizing the resources that we have. Yes, we'll be making progress when it comes to harnessing the energy from the sun, solar PV, for example. We've seen a lot of penetration or a lot of its application in the area of rural electrification, embedded generation, captive C&I solar for industrial use in the country. But then there are other renewable energy resources that it's still underutilized. Wind, for example, small hydro power, for example. And I like the way Nigeria contextualized the small hydropower range, 0 to 30 megawatt, for example. So that's huge energy you can, utilize. But we've also seen that willingness, political will, and that drive to want to harness these resources from the area of policies that we have, the renewable energy and energy efficiency policy, action plans backing it, then now the new acts of 2023, creating that opportunity for states to also, use develop their own electricity market with the fact that renewable energy will play a key role. So we have that. But however, we need to do more to harness these resources that we have because the energy access deficit is still wide. And so we have the resources to do that.
Amazing. All right, Chibueze, I'll come to you now because of the energy access it ended with. So I want to pick that from there. This green economy we're looking, there's an aspect of the environment, there's an aspect of when we want to close the energy access gap. You are in the villages, in the communities. You're trying to power progress, with the work you're doing. What are you seeing if we really must achieve, this progress in the aspect of energy access, which we know is sustainable enough to, contribute very well to this green economy we're thinking? What are you seeing?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Wisdom. I would say from our experience, powering productivity for Nigerians like you and I, especially in rural communities, leveraging, green solutions like solar energy, there is a lot that has been done and there's a lot that can be done. Green economy is you, green economy is me. Green economy is what we can do, like Professor has said, to really, address the objective function, which is, an environment that is cleaner, is safer, and more sustainable. So I think in terms of closing the gap, there is a lot of coordination that can be done. I'm happy to see people from, different organizations, both on the public side, on the private side, just putting heads together to say, how do we make sure that we actually achieve a green economy in Nigeria? And I think in most countries, or particularly Nigeria, for example, there's a lot that we can do in terms of leveraging investments for energy transition, for powering productivity, especially around productive use of energy, powering transportation to take food produce from rural communities to urban areas, and most especially, powering urban centers as well, because sometimes the urban centers get ignored, but we need to actually grow the economy by growing not just the rural areas, but also the urban areas.
So as we wrap up, just final question, and everybody will take the same. So we'll just wrap up now because of time, so we can move on. In one sentence, what is the one critical step that we must take today to unlock a true sustainable green economy? Especially as we know the SDGs are ending by 2030. So everybody's target is 2030. But maybe one sentence and a few thoughts as we wrap up. What is that one critical step we can take? I'll come back to Prof on this question, then I'll take Chibueze and end with Godfrey. Prof.
Okay, I would say just crowding those who are not crowded in. What
Okay.
I mean is crowding those who sell diesel generators to give them a chance to sell cleaner energy.
Okay.
And just make sure everybody has a stake in it.
Fantastic. Prof, your thoughts?
Invest in renewable energy intentionally and grow the value chain on that renewable energy sector.
Fantastic. Mr. Godfrey?
Yes, innovative partnership. We need that the public, the private sector, donor community. We need, to all come together. Nobody has the silver bullet. Funding from the donor community, it's also reducing. The private sector, needs to be part of this. Government itself also needs to be part of this.
All right. And that's as much we can take, really, because of time, but it's a fully packed subject. We need even more than 1 hour to conclude, but we need to wrap up here. But thank you so much. My name is Wisdom, and then it's been fun. Over to you, Patient.
All right, many thanks, Wisdom, and of course to the panelists, we appreciate you. Please, they will have group photograph now. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for this panel discussants and the moderator, of course. It's about time to go on day one, and that's because the ministerial roundtable is set, and I hear that it's about to kick off. As already mentioned, the dinner, welcome dinner would happen tomorrow. Those who are a part of the ministerial roundtable, you just need to move to the other side of the hall, and that would kick off. To all delegates and participants who have remained with us from the start till now, we do sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much. So we'll do this one more time as we close for today, and I hope to see you bright and early tomorrow. Don't forget the session begins at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So please please tell your friends and try to be here on time. So we'll do this one more time. Will we please rise? When I say Afnis, you say we lead. When I say Africa, we rise. Afnis.
We lead.
Afnis.
We lead.
Africa. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Thank you, everybody. Safe trip, safe journey. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.